In 1927, there was a ship anchored in the bay behind me. It broke free from its mooring during a stormy night, drifted towards the shore, hit a reef, broke up. Now that wreck is visible at low tide. Yesterday, I swam out to the wreck and I placed a few lobster pots exactly where the wreck is. And my plan is to spend the next 36 hours on this beach. I've got my tent, I've got my knife, I've got some firewood that I've already gathered, and I've got some food. So the plan is to cook some food over a fire tonight, do a bit of coastal foraging, and then tomorrow I'll be retrieving the pots. What I'm aiming for are lobsters and crabs and prawns. Stay tuned until the end of the video to see what happens. Fish on. The eyes. Oh! Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Eating it raw. Classic big eyes for a night feeding fish. Velvet swimming crab. Oh, look at that. So this is what I've collected so far. It's only taken about 10 or 15 minutes of walking up and down the beach and looking for driftwood. That salt dried wood, which is perfect for a campfire. And this is it, this is home for the night. You know, there's nothing better than camping out on the beach, knowing that you're fishing. Now, I'm not talking fishing rod, I'm talking lobster pots. If all goes to plan, I'll have a lobster for breakfast. So it's been a few hours now since I got here, and before the sun goes down, I'm going to start collecting some small kindling to start the fire. Oh, there's another piece of firewood up there. I'll probably get that later on. So while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, let's see what else has been washed up on the beach. There's lots of these things, and now these you've probably seen in a pet shop, or if you know anyone with a parrot or even a budgie, they've probably got one of these in the cage. These are cuttlefish bones, and they wash up once the cuttlefish dies. And yeah, there's loads of them on this beach. There's one there, there's one there as well, one there as well, and a broken up one right there. I think it's just calcium, which is why it's so good for the beaks and also eggs for chickens. Makes the eggs stronger. I used to have some chickens once, and I used to get these from the beach, crush them up, mix them into the chicken feed, and it just gives a good hard firm shell. It's also got another piece of wood. Well, it's got some writing on it. What's that say? Nobatran, and an interesting little image at the end. There's more bits of wood in there. What's this? A grill. I'm not going to balance my kettle on that firewood anymore. Now that is absolutely perfect. So another interesting find I've just found right here where I'm sitting is this. Now it might just look like a piece of leathery, dried out seaweed, but actually this is what's called a mermaid's purse. Now there's a species of shark and they lay eggs in amongst all the kelp, which is the seaweed. And these things attach to the seaweed, and after a while the egg develops and it makes a hole and it climbs out of this pod. There's about 3 hours until low tide. By then it'll be dark. Now what I'm planning is to do a bit of rockpool foraging or exploring. We're going to see what's around at low tide. Yep, we're boiling. More and more of the reef over there is being exposed, and that's where I'll be heading to very soon, in about an hour's time. Right, now it's time to get some bait. So I brought a little bit of bait with me. That there is what I'm about to cast out. Got a bite. Little bite right there. The amount of times I've come here and I've tried to fish and catch a fish for a YouTube video, and the fish, they just know that I'm filming a video and they never want to jump on the hook. We caught a fish. We've caught a fish, a baby conger eel. Now these things you normally catch where there's rocks and wrecks. And this is the smallest conger eel I've ever caught in my life. We got a fish! Just gonna remove this hook. Whoa, and there we are, the hook's out. And look how small this little thing is. Classic big eyes for a night feeding fish. You know, these things have actually got teeth. The bigger they get, the more aggressive they are. Oh, they're so slimy. Oh look, some more firewood. Got to tread carefully around here. Look at that rock. All these fossils. These old shells that have become fossilized in this rock. And there's another one there. Look at all of these shells. And there as well. Okay, we've made it onto the reef. And we know we're on the reef because we've got these little rock pools with these periwinkles and limpets. These limpets you can eat the periwinkles as well, but I'm not that hungry, to be honest with you. I'd rather wait for a lobster tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed, I really hope we do catch something. All right, let's jump down onto this lower ledge of the reef. Now, if you look carefully, there's a very small shrimp right there. Oh look, there's a small crab. I'll pull this crab out. Really small crab. Looks like he's missing his claws. Oh, because he's got eggs. So this is a green shore crab. and he's not looking too good. He's got no defense mechanisms, he's got no claws, but it's full of eggs, so it's obviously a female. There is a way to tell the female. If I find another crab, I will show you how to tell them apart. And there's that shrimp again. See if we can get it. Oh mate, oh. I've actually got it. Any second now he'll jump out of my hand. You can actually just eat them raw. Eating it raw. Mmm. It's just like eating raw prawn. Shrimp, that's what it is. A little bit crunchy with the shell. Apart from that, nothing wrong with that at all. Mmm. Just needs a bit of soy sauce. Alright, let's see if we can find a few more. Oh, there's one there. Small one. Ah, these are gone. Oh, it's heavy. Here we are. We've got a little goby fish. And we've got this. These are really interesting, these little crabs. Tiny little things. I can't remember what they're called, but they're pretty interesting little things. Okay, here's another interesting find. So these are called sea anemones, and they're just fascinating. They're so beautiful, especially when they're underwater and they're just vibing in the moment. Here's another one. This one again is a female, and you can tell because that piece on the bottom, it's called the apron. It's quite wide. That's where the eggs are stored when it's pregnant. So yeah, green crab. This one has its claws. It looks like at one point it's lost one of its claws, this one on the left here, because it's regrown into a smaller claw. I can't remember what the name is. If you remember the name of what it is when an animal loses a limb and grows it back, then please comment, because I really just can't remember. Just seen a crab, another small green shore crab. You probably see it right there. Again, I'll just pin it down, grab it by the side of its shell, and this one is intact. Again, this one is a male one. You can see the apron is a lot more pointed than the previous one I found. See you later. Loads of these periwinkles. I mean, you could easily collect a meal full in no time, like that. And all you need is a little can, a washed up can, an old beer can or something, and you just steam these in the can with a little bit of seawater. You can also wrap them in seaweed, in kelp. Wrap them up, throw them onto hot coals, and within minutes they'll be cooked. But not today. So I've just found another species of crab. I've lifted this rock over, and there's a really small brown crab. Now they're also known as the chroma crab, and these are the ones you can buy in the fishmongers, and these are edible. Now I can see why he's hiding under a rock, because he's lost his claws. Okay, I've just seen a big velvet crab. I'm going to try and catch it. Oh, got it, got it! Got it! Look at that, a little male one. This one is actually big enough to cook up. These are velvet crabs, also known as a velvet swimming crab, because the reason why they're called swimming crabs is because of these little swimmers on the back. That back one is a swimming leg, or a fin. And look at the claws. These things are really, really aggressive. And in fact, I saw another one down there. Oh, there's one there. I don't know if you can see that. There's another one right there. Absolute beauty. Ah! Look at him. Look at him just holding on. Holding on for his dear life. But hopefully he'll let go in a minute. Oh, don't be, no, whoa, whoa, whoa. There he is. And he's scarpered off. Things you find at low tide is unreal. Now let's see what else we can find. All right, let's turn this rock over. What's under this rock? Probably Another prawn or three. Oh, two little prawns. Swam away real quick. Hopefully one of these 3 sticks will be long enough to get the crab I've just seen. This is another, oh, and he's holding onto the stick. That's another brown crab right there, the chroma crab. These are the edible species. So here he is. Brown crabs, when they get scared, they kind of curl up like that. But you can imagine this thing 50 times larger than it is now. An absolute beast. And the claws are huge. You can eat the meat in the legs, in the claws, and also the brown meat in the shell. Look at the size of this prawn right here. I'm gonna go very slowly. Oh, God. The size of it. I can still see it. All right, let me scare it this way. Where is he? I see his eyes. No, that didn't work. That was a fail. Okay, the tide is starting to turn. It's coming back in, so I'm gonna get off this reef before I get wet. There's another goby. Really small one. There's one right next to it as well. Let's see if we can try and catch this one. Nope, missed it. Let's try and get that. Where is he gone? Yeah, they're hard to catch when they're in the water. Let's see if we can scoop them up. Oh, I've just, no, missed it. Yep, tide's coming in. Let's head back to camp. Alright, we're back at camp. Let's do a bit more fishing. Take the bell off the end of the rod. So I've got another sand eel. You know what? I'm going to put 2 on. Okay, we've got 2 on the hook now. Now let's cast it out. Right, there's fish on. Let me go and retrieve it. Yes! We've got another fish. Same species. Got another conger eel. Much bigger. Woo! Got a fish! Oh, got another fish! This is our second fish of the night. Again, look at the size of the eyes. Oh! So it's been about a few hours since I caught that last fish. Remember, we've had 2 conger eels so far tonight. The first one was quite small. The second one was 2 or maybe 3 times bigger. But I decided not to eat them. So I pulled out some chicken wings and I'm now cooking them over my driftwood fire. So these wings have been cooking for about 20, maybe 25 minutes. And they are looking absolutely beautiful. You can't beat a chicken wing cooked over a driftwood fire. And there we have it. Chicken wings cooked on a driftwood fire. Look at that, the bone just falls away from the meat and they're so hot. God, they're so hot. Amazing. Before I came out today, I put some chicken wings in a bag, threw a bit of seasoning in, because I knew that I'll be sitting here around a fire and there's nothing better than cooking on an open fire, especially when it's driftwood. Wings are one of my favourite bits of the chicken to cook on a barbecue. let me know in the comments, what's your favourite part of the chicken that you like to grill? All right, we've just got another bite. Ah, got it. Fish on! Woo! Fish on! It's another conger eel. Look at it. So that's our third fish of the night. I'm gonna unhook it and put it back. So it's now about 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm gonna go to sleep. I've caught a few fish tonight. It's been a really fun evening. But I just want to say thank you so much for watching the video up until now. Fingers crossed we get something in those lobster pots tomorrow. Good night. Well folks, good morning. And what a beautiful morning it is. A little bit of chop on the water, a little bit of wind. But here we are, we're approaching the wreck. That famous wreck which is almost 100 years old. Remember, this was an 85 feet long barge. It was carrying coal and it was powered by, it was a steam powered coal barge. And you can just see all the bits of metal, all the wreckage sticking out of the water. And it is quite shallow in places, but that's because there's a ship beneath us. And as I was saying yesterday, where there's broken metal and holes and rocks, that's where you're going to find lots of marine creatures. And we're after things like prawns, lobsters and crabs. So we're approaching the first pot. You can see I've got a pot right there. I've got one over there. I've got one over there. And I've also got one a little bit further out there. So, come on, fingers crossed. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we've got. Oh, I might have to roll my sleeves up for this. Might get a bit wet. Okay. Now, the trick is, hopefully it won't be stuck or wedged to the bottom. Feels like it's coming up. And in the first pot, oh, we have a lobster. I can tell straight away the lobster in this pot is way too small to keep. So let's just remove some of these rocks. And we're going to take the lobster back to the shore. We're going to have a little look at it. And then we're going to put it back in the water. First lobster of the year. Brilliant, that's a good start, isn't it? And you see there, where the waves are breaking in front of me, there's another reef. In the summertime, I do a lot of swimming. I snorkel out, I dive down and I place my pots, which is what I did 2 days ago. It is cold, the water's freezing cold. The air temperature is probably about 2, maybe 3 degrees. I just got to get this over and done with because my toes are feeling very, very numb at the moment. Got it. Oh, look at that. We've got lots of big velvet swimming crabs. Okay, let's get rid of some of these rocks just to get rid of some weight. Right, so what have we got? We've got about 6 or 7 fairly big velvet swimming crabs. I want to drop that. Okay, pulling up the third pot now. Fingers crossed. Oh no. We've got another conger eel. And we've got some gobies. I think we've got 2 gobies in there. Right, I'm just gonna drop this one back. Come on, fingers crossed for the last one. Let's see a big crab, or what we're all waiting for is a big lobster. Here we are, we're approaching the final one. I've got to be a bit careful here because there's a lot of metal in the water. Oh, we've got another lobster, guys. This one might be legal. That might actually be legal. Let's head back to shore and see what we've got. Okay. Woo! Okay, so let's empty out this one. Let's put that one back. Swim off. See you later, mate. So another goby. Put that back in the water. Nice prawn. Yep, we want to keep that. Let's get rid of this conger. Just want to shake him out of the net. And there he goes. Now this is the one that's got lots and lots of velvet swimming crabs in it. So we've got another velvet swimming crab. We don't want this. You know, some of these are big enough to keep, but I'm not going to bother with these ones. I'm just going to let them go back. Now that is a nice velvet swimming crab. That's probably legal to keep, but again, we're not going to keep it. We're going to let him live and swim off or crawl off. See you later. Okay, now let's have a look at the lobster. This one is definitely legal to keep. Look at that though, an absolute beauty of a lobster. 1 lobster to cook up for breakfast. We've got 1 large velvet swimming crab, and then the final pot. There's no point in even measuring this one. This one is not legal, and we know it's not legal because I've measured it and it is smaller than the legal size for landing it to eat. So yeah, back she goes. Back she goes. Or it might be a he, you never know. Where should we put it? Let's put it right there. See you later, mate. See you in about 10 years. Woo! Oh look, another part of the shipwreck. Right there. Made it back. And a bit of garlic. Throw that in as well. Now what I'm making is a bit of an Asian dish. Tom yam soup. Well, this is my take on a tom yam soup. Spring onion. Corn on the cob. And I've also got some tom yam paste. So please forgive me, but I'm about to blur this part of the video. As you can see, it's completely lifeless. So same thing with this one. I'm going to blur the video. And then last thing, the prawn. Okay, so it's now been 12 minutes. Let's have a look. Look at that. Let's start off with this little prawn. There it is. Let's dip it in that lovely, lovely sauce. Soup, tom yum soup. Mmm. Try a bit of the onion. Here we are. Pull this bit out. Look at this. Look at this. Mm. Get in and just pull all of this meat out. That is absolutely delicious. Mmm. So for the tail, just rip that off. You want to crush it like that. Get rid of the shell, throw that in the fire. Pull the rest of the tail out. And you simply just dip it back in your sauce, in your soup, in your spicy tom yum. Mmm. Mmm. It takes it to another level. Totally. Oh, the crab's lost one of his claws. Wow. A bit overcooked, but that's all good. Carrot. Mmm. So good. Alright folks, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for enjoying this with me, for taking the time of your day to watch the video. And I just want to say how much I love doing this sort of thing. Sometimes I go to islands in the middle of Asia and I'll spend 2 or 3 days on my own with only my knife. Not many people get to do this sort of thing. So I just like to share what I like to do normally in my free time. I don't always film these sorts of videos. In fact, I do this maybe 20 times a year, but I'll only film it once every 2 or 3 years. So again, thank you so much for watching. And all I can say now is, please do me a huge favour. Everyone comment what your favourite seafood is. And also, while you're there, please hit the like button, share it out, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. One more thing. Some people aren't receiving notifications when I go either live or when a video is uploaded. So please make sure you've hit that notification button, you've liked the video, you've shared it out with all your family and friends and nephews. Thanks so much for watching. So I'm now going to enjoy the rest of this to myself, turn the camera off, and just enjoy the moment. Thanks a lot. See you next time. Goodbye.